right, a very good morning to you all Nigerians. This is Masses Assembly, the voice of the people, the ruler of the streets, the heartbeat of a nation that refuses to be silent. We all know that there is a saying that said, when the talking drum speaks, the people must answer. Well, our drum is beating and it's calling every Nigerians from Lagos traffic to Sokoto farmland to rise, speak, and be heard. Here we strip away political grammars, break down the big issues, food prices, road, school, electricity, until every voice understands the power it holds, because alone we are whispers, together we are thunder. The lines will be open to argue, to question, to demand change, because when the people lead, the leaders must follow. This is Masses Assembly, and I am your host, Bidemi Moses, your senator in the People's Rent Chamber of Nigeria. So let's get to work. Today we'll be looking at selective justice, how the EFCC has become a political sword and to cut only one way. That is what we'll be looking at this morning, and I will be joined with Dr. Yemi Badru on the show this morning. So we'll be right back after this short break. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Don't forget to can be part of the show by joining our live stream on Facebook. Just go to Facebook and search for GUTS 104.9 FM, GUTS 104.9 FM. The Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, was established by National Assembly on December 12, 2002. And began operation on April 13, 2003 under President Obasanjo administration and pioneer chairman Nuhu Ribadu. It was partly a response to international pressure, specifically from the Financial Action Task Force, FATF, highlighting Nigeria's poor track record on money laundering. The EFCC Establishment Act, amended in 2004, empowers the Commission to prevent, investigate, prosecute and penalize economic and financial crimes, including money laundering, 419 fraud, terrorism financing, and more. However, critics like Olisa Agbakoba San have challenged its constitutionality, arguing the act was hurriedly passed and lacked proper federal state consultative input. Still, in November 2024, the Supreme Court upheld the FCC enabling law as constitutionally valid, affirming that the National Assembly acted within its power and that the FCC qualifies under Section 174 into 1B and Section 211 into 1B of the Constitution. So, dear Nigerians, once again, this is Masses Assembly, and today we ask a questions that strike the heart of our democracy. Is EFCC an impartial guardian of public integrity or a partisan weapon wielded by a ruling class? The EFCC has a storied legacy, from prosecuting 419 fraudsters in its early days under Nuhu Ribadu's leadership to grappling with constitutional controversy. Yet, patterns have emerged. Opposition figures face the full force of the law, while those later aligning with the ruling All Progressive Congress seem to escape scrutiny. Take the judge, once indicted by EFCC under Ribadu, later arrested under Farida Waziri and ultimately freed, rumored to have benefited from political shade. Contrast that with politicians from the ruling party whose alleged misdeed face little or no follow-up after party alignment. This isn't just about corruption, it is about selective justice. So today we are going to talk about how we think we can reform this particular branch of the government. And joining me this morning is Dr. Yemi Badru. Good morning, Dr. Yemi.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. It's a pleasure having you on Masses Assembly this morning.
Thanks so much, sir.
All right. To let everybody know that the view and opinion expressed on Masses Assembly are those of the guests and callers and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of GOTS 104.9 FM or its management. All discussions are intended for public enlightenment, education, and responsible debate. While we strive for accuracy, we encourage listeners to verify information independently. Masses Assembly promotes free speech within the boundary of respect, truth, and Nigeria's law. Any statement deemed defamatory, offensive, or inciting will not be tolerated. By participating in the program, you are agreed to be responsible for your own comment and contribution. So, Dr. Yemi, to start with, EFCC, Economic and Financial Crime Commission, very quickly, in your opinion, what do you see to the creation of this particular body?
Well, good morning, listeners at home, and thanks for joining us on Masses Assembly this morning. To answer your question and to start with, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission was intended to combat non-violent criminal, criminal accumulation of wealth, you understand, in Nigeria. And it was also established to fight, all sorts of financial crimes that may be committed by citizens of Nigeria, even foreigners who reside in Nigeria also. And the creation of EFCC through the Act of Parliament of 2002, and which was amended in 2004. You understand?
Yes.
Meant well for our nation if it has been used, well. But the founder of EFCC, I mean the federal government under the leadership of President Obasanjo then, you understand, it meant well for our nation because they want our nation to be able to fight, illegally amassed wealth, in the country, and that is the purpose of having Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in Nigeria.
But do you think the purpose are met?
Well, to a level, I believe EFCC is trying. Just that, the general masses, or let me say the general Nigerians generally currently view their operations as biased. You understand?
Yes.
View their actions as selective. You understand? Well, talk of the effectiveness. I believe when they started, we have seen good works they have done. You understand? And they still fear in the heart of some sort of people who believe that they are untouchable. You understand?
Yes.
The governors, the eyes and the mighties in the nation. You understand? Everybody hearing the fear as in hearing the name EFCC. You understand? Understand. You have to comport yourself. You understand? You have to behave yourself. I believe to some extent we have seen that they are effective. You understand?
Yes.
I will say that to some extent.
All right. So, how do you distinguish between legitimate anti-corruption efforts and the politically motivated prosecution?
Well, Nigeria being a complex country, I will want to say a few things this morning. You understand?
Yes.
In distinguishing between legitimate crime fight and the politicized one,
Yes.
will we clearly understand the interferences by the political class in a criminal in criminal fight or in crime fight? You understand?
Yes.
Now, particularly, we have seen many of these rich, high, and the mighty, many in the political classes, you understand, that were arrested. Fine, EFCC has successfully tried some, you understand. For instance, it was during the era of former President Muhammadu Buhari, you understand. When this guy, the former governor of Ekiti, Ayufayoshi,
Yes.
was vocal against the government, you understand. EFCC went after him. Well, some may say that he had issues with them before, you understand, like many others in his class. They went after him. They initiated a case that has been dismissed against, that has been struck out against him. You understand?
Yes.
And they rearranged him, prosecuted him to the extent that, you know, everybody, in fact, an average Nigerian mind was like, it's because the man was vocal against the country. You understand? As in the presidency.
The government. Yeah.
Exactly. Now we can see the end result of that case. Eventually, the case was dismissed. You understand? The court freed him. The court discharged and acquitted him. You understand? Saying that he had not committed any crime. You understand? Now,
Yes.
and now the many Nigerians, we have, you know, we still have that perception that this man, you understand, was actually, what do we call it? Was actually witch hunted. You understand?
Mhm.
Just because he spoke against, and
government,
you know,
yeah.
exactly. And during one of these, during one of the campaigns, you understand, there was a statement credited to Oshiomhole, the former governor of Edo State, a current senator. He said, and I quote, you understand, that once you join our party, all your sins are forgiven. You know, I believe that it was a very careless statement, you understand, that will, you know, affect the mind of many citizens, you understand? Like, yes, somebody like me, you understand? I want to believe that maybe EFCC has become a department of APC, you understand? Because that some people even wrote on that, you understand, that EFCC now becomes a department of APC, you understand? Now, the fact is that is the prosecution, who are those being prosecuted? Are they members of APC? Have you seen a member of APC under the current leadership, you understand, being actively prosecuted by the EFCC? You understand? Now, in fact, under this administration, I have seen them going after, after Yahoo boys. Well, I will not say that is not part of their duty. You understand? The law permits them to go after all sorts of crime.
Crime, yes, money laundering, fraud, and
exactly. Exactly. Go through Section 14 of EFCC Act. Go through Section 46 of EFCC Act. You see, you understand, that they actually have the powers. You understand? But people now see them as leaving their main duties. You understand? Going after, all sorts of ephemerals. You understand? They now go after naira abusers. You understand? Right? They have the power, they have the duty. You understand? To go to enforce a CBN Act as well. But the basics that they were known for, you understand, they are becoming weaker and weaker on daily basis. Now, save and accept the fact that we had yesterday, you understand, that they have gone after, they have arrested the former Sokoto governor, Tambua, you understand, save and accept that we had that. And, asking the mind of Nigerians, they will say, maybe Tambuwa is not in their party. Tambuwa is of the opposition. You understand?
Yes.
Now, the question is, why are they not going after their own? You understand? Now, that is because let me tell you this, sir. Now, our law is clear in the country. Our law is that all of us shall be equal before the law.
Yes.
That there shall be no sacked cow. So when our law clearly posits that all of us shall be equal before the law, then it means that everybody, everyone can be touched by the law. You understand? That is the implication. Now, and if they had always acted, I will not say that they are not, that those they are prosecuting is not under is not in enforcement of their legitimate duty. Fine, they have the legitimate the legitimacy. You see that even I think some days ago over the weekend, there was this outcry that EFCC stormed the hotel, one of the hotels of former President Obasanjo. I mean, yes. The person who founded the organization. You understand? You understand? But that's good. And just that there has been a lot of deniers, in recent times. You understand? Even their leadership, their chairman has occasionally warned that such operations should their operations and enforcement should be done legitimately. You understand? Now when we see them storming hotels or storming places of their operation, in what do we call it, in the Gestapo side, style, you understand, or in violating the rights of the people, all those things, bring to mind of the military era. You understand? All those things affect the mind.
But
so
some people believe that is their mode of operandi.
That is, well, I really want to say that even if that is the mode, you understand, is that the legitimate or lawful way of doing things, you understand? No, they are not. There are organizations that are known, you understand, for that. Even those organizations, they don't come out clean, you understand? I mean, they don't come out and say that, no, we did this, you understand? That's this way. But the fact is that as security men, there are guidelines. You don't create impressions in the hearts of people. Now, because when you go out for operations, you still have to be accountable.
You have to be accountable.
You have to be accountable to the law. So you don't take laws into your hand. The law is strict that he who must come to equity must come with clean hand. You don't take laws in your hand. If you want to prosecute someone by the law, you also must stay within the ambit of the law. That's one of the reasons why we are affected. Now let me now tell you the reason why people continue to disbelieve, you understand, the ability of EFCC in ensuring that justice is done. You understand?
Okay.
Now, EFCC to me as of today is still not an organization that is approachable by a common Nigerian.
Why do you say that?
I will explain it. Now, there was a time I wrote a petition to EFCC.
Okay.
I was defrauded by a foremost bank in Nigeria. You understand?
Okay.
I took a loan. It's exactly 7 months on the loan. The bank took the bank manager and account officer used my account, took another loan in my name without my knowledge, without my request.
Whoa.
And used my guarantor for the existing loan as guarantor to the fraudulent loan. Now, I reported to CBN, but they always have their way. Yes. CBN, they were covered, you understand? And see, they were like, they restructure my account, they restructure the loan. Now, the question that readily came to my mind is that, can you take an action on a customer's account without his knowledge or without his request? Which CBN Act clearly forbids. Now, I took them to police. But before taking them to police, I took them to EFCC. EFCC told me that the amount these guys have been alleged to steal, it was less than 5 million naira. And any amount that is less than 5 million naira cannot be taken up by them.
Wow.
Now that is not in their act.
Whoa. I'm hearing this for the first time.
They shut me out. They wrote me a letter. They shut me out of justice. But let me tell you, before they could write me, it took like 2 years or 3 years. Now, and the fact then was, I now went to seek, I now wrote police. Police investigated, and police referred the case to DPP. And DPP studied the case file and established 5 count charges bordering on fraudulent false accounting, keeping fraudulent book of accounts, and stealing against this bank manager. And as I'm speaking with you, they are being prosecuted by a high court in Osun State.
Which means the police department are even more effective than the Economic and Financial Crime Commission.
Effective and approachable. And so many people have had the same belief. Now, and I believe that EFCC should be an approachable department by all Nigerians who have complaints of financial and complaints relating to financial crimes. You understand?
Yes.
It should be accessible. They should have their offices not only in state commands, not only at the zonal head, not only at the national head. They should have their offices in grassroots areas. Now, where we are duplicating activities. As of today, we have so many duplications. We have the document, we have a special fraud unit that created by the Nigerian Police Force. We have NFIU, I mean Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, you understand? Now we have a ICPC, you understand? Those are duplication of duties, you understand?
And there is ICPC before the establishment of the EFCC.
Exactly, we have ICPC before the establishment of the EFCC. And go to all police stations, they have fraud units, you understand?
Yes.
If they know that they cannot do this thing alone, why don't they partner with all these agencies, you understand? Make them their unit head, you understand? Their unit or offices, you understand? And that cases relating, you understand, can be consolidated.
All right, Dr. Yemi, according to the news coming out late yesterday night, we have it that panic has gripped the African Democratic Congress as the Economic and Financial Crime Commission allegedly targeted the key members of the 2027 coalition who are working to unseat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the 2027 general election. And it comes as the EFCC on Monday interrogated former Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwa, a member of the coalition, over an alleged fraudulent cash withdrawal amounting to 189 billion naira. And don't forget, Tambuwa was the governor of Sokoto State from 2015 to 2023. Now, according to your word, you quoted one of the saying of Adams Oshiomhole that once you come to APC, your sins will be forgiven. Let me take you to some of the events that happened recently. Ojiuzo Kalu, the former governor of Abia State, it was a case of fraud was brought against him in 2007. He joined the APC in 2016, was convicted in 2019, but the conviction was overturned on a technicality in 2020. The case is still in court, but the pace is very, very slow. Now, Danjuma Goje, ex-governor of Gombe State, 25 billion naira fraud trial since 2011. After defecting to the APC in 2015, EFCC withdrew the case in 2019, shortly after he endorsed the APC Senate leadership. Now, Premium Times, the Cable and Sahara reporter have it that Godswill Akpabio, former Akwa Ibom governor, was investigated over alleged 108 billion naira fraud, and it was in the headline before his 2018 defection to APC. Since then, the case has gone nowhere. Joshua Darie, ex-Plateau State Governor, 1.16 billion naira fraud, and now he has been pardoned while serving his sentence as an APC member. We have Aliyu Wamako, we have Stella Oda, and many of them. Are we now saying that once you belong to the ruling party, you have how do I put it? You have asylum. There is asylum covering you once you are in the ruling party.
Yes, sir. I want to strongly believe that is the thinking of many Nigerians now.
Yes.
Well, like I said the other time, there is nothing illegal in the activity of EFCC going after those suspected to have committed financial crime. But at times, timing matter.
Okay.
Aminu Tambuwa has left the office not yesterday, not today. There are so many questions that readily comes to the mind. Who reported Tambuwa?
Okay, that's a big one.
The EFCC don't act without a complaint. And who lodged that complaint? And apart from that question, why do they have to wait until now? You understand?
Before they lodge the complaint.
Exactly. Now, if this man had been invited, immediately he left the office, I believe by now nobody will be talking of political interest. You understand?
Yes.
In his investigation. But now that every sensible mind is thinking of the fact that this is a man that is vocal against the government and that has joined the opposition coalition party. You understand?
Yes.
In fighting the emergence, or let me say, the return of Mr. President to the office. You understand? Or the ruling party to the office. You understand?
In 2027.
People we view is arrest or investigation as persecution. Let me for clarity's sake, let me digress a bit.
Okay.
Something funny happened. 2 or 3 days ago. There is this lady, Ushe or so, a core member who serves in Lagos. You understand?
Yes.
Who was alleged to be vocal against the president, and who claimed that Lagos is thinking. You understand? Now, the lady claimed that on the day she was to be cleared for April Alawi. You understand?
Yes.
That on getting there, while on queue, she was asked many times to return back to the back of the queue. You understand? Whenever she got to a local airline. You understand? And SBI. That she at some point when she complained that each time I get to you ask me to go back. You understand? That the woman collected a clearance letter which PPA has given her, and that the woman seized it and that they refused to clear her till today.
Yes, that is for the month of April.
For the month of April. And non-clearance of this girl eventually imposed a sanction on her. You understand?
Yes.
And that cost her 2 months extension.
Of course.
If I tell you this morning, you understand, that a similar thing had happened to me before, you will not believe it. Now, so when I was reading of the lady's plight and NYC coming out to deny it, you understand?
Yes.
I readily, what had happened to me, readily came to my mind. When I went for service, I was posted legitimately, and I went to honor it, but rejected. So I got redeployed by NYSC to Central Bank of Nigeria.
Okay.
32 core members were already posted there and rejected. So on getting there, I was accepted. How did it happen? On getting there, I didn't know anybody in CBN. I didn't have any connection. But on getting there, a fax letter came while I was sitting in the office of the branch controller. And when the man read it, it was an approval to accept 2 core members. And the man told me, exactly, he told me that he had rejected the other core members because there was no approval before then. So the man took me. Along the line, our state coordinator then, one Mr. Arukoyo, felt that I had induced my posting to that place, which never happened. And this man stopped my alawi for 3 months.
Whoa.
Now, and it was in the process of fighting that this particular man, could you believe that he gave a messenger in Enugu South local government my file to be kept under the rug in that local government, in that man's office.
So from one local government to another local government?
From the state headquarters, my state file was
from the state
over.
From the state secretariat to another local government.
Exactly. Sir, it was until meaningful and influential Nigerians got involved until I fought it then. And this man now called me to his office and apologized to me and said that go to meet Mr. So. Your file is under.
It's wrong.
When I got there, the man said, "Who told you?" I said, "The state coordinator himself." The man opened his office rug, and brought out my file. Now, back to what we are saying, sir. Now, there is every possibility that some of these arrests, especially the investigation of Aminu Tambuwa, may not be politically motivated. You understand?
Yes.
But the timing in the acts of people has made it a politically inclined or a politically motivated move. That's why, as security men, if you see a crime being committed around you, you act immediately. I do tell people, irrespective of who is committing that crime, when I see a crime being committed, I am duty bound by Section 24 of the Constitution and by Section 4 of Nigeria Police Act. You understand?
Yes.
To report same immediately. Do you know that even as an individual, you have a power to arrest, power of arrest?
Whoa.
Even a civilian, you have a power of arrest.
All right,
Yes.
Dr. Yemi, we have very limited time to go now, but finally, in 1 minute, what reforms, either legal or institutional, do you think we can propose to insulate EFCC from political interference?
One, sir, EFCC should should be independent.
Okay.
If we want to have an effective economic and financial crime commission, that unit should operate like what do we call it? INEC should be an independent body.
Okay.
And secondly, if possible, we should have a governing body or supervisory team, you understand, which will comprise of both the executive and the legislatures and the judiciary. In fact, if I will strongly suggest, I feel ICPC should strongly be under the judiciary. As of today, we still believe to a level, on the impartiality of the judiciary.
All right. Thank you so much. Dr. Yemi, I think that will be the size we can take this morning. We have just 2 minutes to leave the studio. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure having you on Masses Assembly this morning.
Please, my sir.
And I hope we can continue this discussion very, very soon.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. No problem, sir.
All right, and that is the voice of Dr. Yemi Badru on Masses Assembly this morning. 070-00001049, and you can call 081-3299-2611. Let's see if we can take one or two calls before we leave the studio. And a comment coming in on our Facebook. We have the first one coming from Dr. Mrs. Mma Olebara from Owerri, and she said, today is International Youth Day. Any nation without the youth is like a tree without roots. The burden and challenges that faces our youth are enormous. Many of them are suffering, training themselves, battling life, and many more. Let us take this call before I continue. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Abidemi Moses.
Thank you so much, Ojikutu Akim.
I am Ojikutu Akim calling from Ekwe.
All right, very quickly.
EFCC of Obasanjo's tenure, Lulu Ribadu, is quite different from EFCC of nowadays.
Okay.
You can see a lot of politicians. See those politicians that you have just mentioned their names. They have already been alleged by EFCC, and Nigerians are yet to see the final judgment of those politicians. See Patrick Okowa has also been alleged of oil derivation money or ecological money, and they are still they have already defected to the ruling party. So to me, EFCC they have turned themselves to politicians until the appointment of the EFCC is being, if the constitution is being amended, before we will have a truly EFCC.
Thank you so much, Ojikutu Akim. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Emeka.
Libo Sotoma. That's good morning for you.
Good morning. Good morning to you too.
See, let me tell you, you cannot fight hand that feed you. The EFCC is not their fault. How can you tell me before you sit on the seat, you open your mouth and say, if you come to me, all your sins have been forgiven. So let me tell you, even though the man keeps silent, if for better pass that way he talk. If say keep silent, if for better for me, pass that way he talk. Because all those things tell you that these people cannot do without doing to please their colonial masters. As they are serving their colonial masters, that's how these people are serving them as colonial masters, and them are giving their toilet to colonial masters. So all those things must be know how to address in this Nigeria. When they reach, you is just suffering for them. But our Igbo people don't say, when you pursue God to this world, God will turn back and bite you back. And we are waiting for them.
Thank you so much, Emeka. Thank you so much for that contribution. All right, let me complete the message I was reading. And the final part of it says, I'm sure they haven't learned a lot of lessons from the past and will refocus for a better future. It is their duty to determine who should rule this country. It is time to start displaying their strengths positively. They should realize that they are stakeholders in the affairs of this country and are capable of influencing the action of government and others in the authority. Dupe Omita said, good morning, sir. Zenith, good morning. And he furthermore says, happy birthday to okay, thank you so much. Yes, I am coming to that to wish her too. Owokade Oluwase said, good morning, sir, from Omi Onyekan. Adebosho Taobayomi Olowolagba Tobiloba. She said, good morning and thank you so much for that. And let me leave you with this word. As we close today, Masses Assembly, let's reflect. Democracy demands not just fairness, but the perception of fairness. The EFCC powers to investigate and prosecute must not be tampered by political, but safeguarded by justice and equity. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Masses Assembly. My name is Bidemi Moses, the senator representing the masses at the Red Chamber. Bye and good morning.